My name is Ian Cashton, and welcome to StartmeUp Videos. Today, we are joined by Dr. Stephen Gedeon to discuss proper techniques to business plan writing. Thanks for joining us, Steve.
My pleasure.
Steve, you've started over a dozen companies, venture capital firms, and nonprofits. Can you tell us about your most recent?
I haven't started over a dozen. I've been CEO, turned around, or started over a dozen. My most recent company probably would have been 3DNA. It's we raised 5 rounds of financing, 5 or 6 rounds of financing, and it's the #1 download in our product category for the last year. Grew the company to over $1 million in revenue, over 20 employees before declaring victory and moving on.
Congratulations on your success.
Thanks.
And you've also started a number of venture capital firms, correct?
Yes, the largest would have been a $100 million U.S. corporate VC program based out of San Diego, but it was also involved in starting a couple of smaller seed venture capital funds as well.
So you've had both perspectives. You've asked for money as an entrepreneur, and you've spent someone else's money as a venture capitalist. Can you tell us about the different perspectives on both these business plans?
It really does give you a very different perspective when it's your baby and you're passionate about it and you don't understand why don't these idiots get it. And then suddenly the next week you're on the other side of the table going, wow, why don't these entrepreneurs get it? All I want is a simple answer to this, this, and this, and the entrepreneurs just don't get it. So yeah, it's really given me an interesting perspective on seeing both the buy and sell side of the transactions.
And now you teach business plan writing, correct?
That's given me an even bigger perspective on it. I think Confucius said something like, to really understand something, if you hear something, you learn it a little bit. If you do something, you learn it more. But to learn it the best, you have to teach somebody else something.
So it sounds like a business plan is a useful tool for just the entrepreneur, just to get their ideas on paper?
Business plans play a variety of roles. Certainly a number of the businesses I've started up, we never had a business plan. And I've seen a lot of well-written documents that say, don't waste your time writing a business plan. And certainly for some businesses, you shouldn't waste your time. Just get out there and just do it. Do it, do it, do it, and why bother to write it down on a piece of paper? But business plans certainly play a very key role for certain reasons. So certainly if you're trying to raise financing, and you want to promote yourself as a credible, intelligent entrepreneur with a well thought out plan and know what the money is going to look like, how much you need and why, then people want to see at least something. You should keep it short. I would say very few people will read more than 20, 25 pages would be it. And a lot of people won't go beyond the executive summary before they make a decision on you. So yeah, there's a lot of different reasons to write a business plan though.
Okay, so I'm an entrepreneur and I just decided I'm going to write a business plan.
Good for you.
Well, thank you. What are some strategies that I can get what's in my head right onto paper? Do I have to think about an outline before everything, or should I just start writing right away?
Good question. I think that the writing the business plan itself is not nearly as important as the process by which you think through what is a successful business. That if you think through and write through what makes a successful business, and you figure out all those things, then the business plan will write itself. So when I teach the course, for example, what I start with is saying, just write down, week 2 or week 3 or something like that. Just tell me what your idea is. Clearly and succinctly, what is your idea? And surprisingly, that's hard for a lot of people. That they talk around it. It seems clear in their own mind, but when they try to put it down onto a piece of paper, like the idea gets buried under too many words. You got to be able to convey what your idea is in a sentence, maybe 2. If you're selling to your mom who loves you, maybe 3 sentences because she'll pay attention long enough. But if you can't clearly articulate it in a paragraph, then it's not clear in your own mind. And so that's the first phase, is just what is it? And then second phase I usually go through is I say, tell me in detail who your customer is and why they care. And very often what will happen is, as people think about who their customer is and why they care, they then have to go back and change what the original idea was. And so the idea of being able to really focus in on who that customer is so important. And most entrepreneurs don't get this. What they do is they say, I'm selling to women. Well, the problem is you can't sell to women. You know, the thing I like to say to students sometimes is, imagine you started your company. There's a telephone. Start making phone calls. You're selling to women. What are you going to do? Just pick up the phone, call the first person. Hi, are you a woman? Let me sell at you. You're going to stand on the street corner in a chicken outfit. Hey, women, buy my thing. Right? You have to have in mind a particular woman doing a particular thing. What is it about that particular individual that makes them pay attention to your idea, love your idea, and buy from you? And the more you can focus on, and it's segmentation and niche marketing, or kind of the business lingo associated with this, the better you can articulate who that target demographic is, their psychographics, what they read, where they hang out, the better you can place your message in a place where they'll see it. Does that make sense?
It does, and it sounds like you're detailing a lot about the executive summary and how that's the most important element of the business plan.
We haven't written the executive summary yet.
That's the
I'm
last
still
element?
working through, think through the right business. And you can do this like on a piece of paper, handwritten, and so let me go through a little bit more. So some of the kind of the big conceptual blocks that you need to fit all together. Maybe I'll back up a little bit. The business planning process itself. Most business planning books seem to say you start at the beginning and you're right way through to the end. Mm-hmm. But that's not the way you think through a business. The way you think through a business is you start thinking through it a little bit, then you realize you got to go back to the beginning and start over again. Then you think through a little bit more, go back to the beginning. So you've got this cycling process that you go through before you finally figured out how to make it all hang together. Now you can start writing your business plan. So the first thing you need to do is say, in general terms, succinctly, what's the business? And then say, who am I selling to? But in detail, not just, women or, people between the ages of 25 and 35. People are different, and you gotta honor that when you're trying to sell your product to them. And so you figure out who your customer is, and figuring that out will tell you what the price point needs to be, as an example. Then obviously you need to look at who your competitors are. Then comes kind of the core business concept of strategy. How are you different from your competitors in a way that's important to your customer? Which means you got to know who the competitors are, you got to know who your customers are, and you got to know how you're different. Now that you've figured that out, you probably have to go back and rewrite what your business is all about. And then you probably have to go back and rewrite who your customers are again. Sorry.
At any time in this process, should you be taking breaks to talk to any potential customers?
The market will tell you anything you need if you ask it. But so many people write these business plans that are castles in the sky and dreams based on, it's $1 billion market and I'm just going to get a fraction of a percent of this $1 billion market, and they act like that means anything. That's not the way businesses are built. Businesses are built one customer at a time, one sale at a time.
Okay, just to throw a little curveball, as a venture capitalist, I'm sure you look through hundreds of business plans. Mm-hmm. What was the most important component, or what did you first look at determining if you should keep on reading or just go on to the next one?
Good point. I can speak with authority on this matter. Everybody agrees on this point. First thing you look at, of course, is the executive summary. But the first thing you look at is really the management team. People will bet on the jockey before they'll bet on the horse. People will bet on an A team with a B plan over an A plan with a B team. So they look at the management, they look at the overall business idea, and then bam, right to the financials.
And that seems like it's the most challenging part of the business plan.
Oh yeah, students struggle with the financial thing all the time.
I'm sure everybody
entrepreneurs
struggles.
do. And so many of the business planning books say some really stupid things like, step one is estimate the overall size of the market. Some big, crazy, large number. Step two, estimate your percentage of it. All I need is 1%. Step three, make a random crazy guess at how to go from 0 to that 1% over X period of time, and that becomes your top line revenue number. But that's such fantasy. And again, it doesn't honor the reality of how entrepreneurs build their business. You make one sale at a time. So as a superficial example, you would say, month one, the top thing I'm going to put in my financial projection is I'm going to make 500 cold calls. Of those 500 cold calls, 100 people I'm going to be able to actually speak with. Of those 100 people, 10 are going to be interested. I'm going to meet face-to-face with 5 of them. Of those 5, I'm not going to close any sales. Month 2, I'm going to make 300 phone calls, meet with X number of people, and then I'm finally going to make a sale. And also part of those revenue drivers are, when I do make a sale, who am I going to make that sale to? Is it a big company, little company, like what part of my target demographic, and how much is that sale going to be for? So now, as a VC, when I look at that $10,000, it's not just an arbitrary $10,000. I can say, how did you come up with that $10,000? Oh, I see, you're going to make a bunch of phone calls, you're going to meet with people, you're going to fly to San Francisco. Oh, and I see the expense down here, very good. And I see you're not, and you're going to fail to make a sale in the first month. I've been there. I know you're going to fail. I'm glad to see that you know that too. Month 2, you can see all the steps that the entrepreneur is going through to get to that sale. Now that number has some credibility. It's not, you throw a dart at a dartboard and in month 1, I'm going to have $10,000. Yay! Or even worse, you say something stupid like, and this is conservative. Everybody knows that the numbers that you're putting in your business plan are wrong before you put them in there. And nobody believes your numbers. And the chances of you getting your numbers right are astronomically 0. But the question is, once you've got my millions of dollars and you're 6 months in, and now the numbers are wrong, and we all know they're going to be wrong, the question is, has the projections given you a guide to management action? And so that's the real purpose of the financial numbers, is does it give you a guide to action? But let's say, for example, that you say, on my spreadsheet, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to say I'm going to give away 10,000 brochures. Of those 10,000 brochures, we're going to get a 2% response rate where people go to our website. As a result, we're going to have a certain number of hits on our website. From the number of people that come to our website, we're going to convert a certain percentage of those to sales at a certain dollar value. And now, finally I hit my revenue number, which is, all those numbers added up basically, right? Month comes and goes, your numbers are wrong. But the question is why? What did you fail to hit? Did you give away the right number of brochures? Yes, but we didn't get 2% response rate. Maybe we need to change the brochure. Maybe we need to change the color or our marketing message or who we give them out to. Maybe we need to change that. Or else maybe you did get your 2% response rate, but you didn't get the drive through to the web traffic. What can we do to fix that link? Maybe once people come to the website, they're not buying. Maybe you need to do something different to your website. Maybe the price point is wrong, but it gives you a guide to management action as opposed to, well, we said we'd make 10,000, we didn't make 10,000. What should we do different? I don't know. Try harder. Let's try harder. Right, yeah, that doesn't work for you.
But how do you tailor your business plan for these different audiences?
You always have to evaluate who your audience is, what they want to see, and what the call to action is from them. So it's the call to action for a brochure could be anything from, buy now, call this number, go to our website, but you got to tell people what the call to action is. So anyway, to answer your specific question, if you're going after a VC is a different plan than you would write to your Uncle Ernie, which is a different plan than you might write for your bank, which is a different plan than you might write for your own clarity of thought for what am I going to do to make money off of this venture, as opposed to, hey, this is a great idea, this is a motivational document, lots of pictures and stuff like that.
You've answered a lot of questions that entrepreneurs out there in the world have, I'm sure. Thank you very much. And if you have any other resources needed for an outline for a business plan or any more resources, please visit StartmeUpRyerson.com. Steve, thanks again for joining us. It's been a pleasure.
Thanks for having me.